Hi guys, welcome back to Another Day in Erinn. This is a series where we get to know more about the people who have been around us for a long time. And today, I am here with Xiokun.
Hello everybody, I'm Zio and I'm Mabinogi's favorite giant.
And you're also one of the favorite artists, I would say.
Well, that's kind of you.
Well, like, look at your character. You're just, I don't want to use the word reek, but you reek of being an artist. Like, your character just looks like an artist character, you know?
That's about the kindest way you could put arrogant, but that's also true.
Aw. Alright, so let's go into the questions. There was a question that you wanted me to ask because it was important to you, and I wanted to combine it with my first question that I ask. And so I would like to ask, how long have you been playing Mabby, and how has Mabinogi impacted your life?
Oh man, I'm glad you're sitting down for this one. I won't take too much of your time, but I've been playing Mabinogi since January of 2013. Maybe in the hindsight of things, of like the grand scale of Mabinogi, that's not too long, since most have played since beta that I know of, but that's a pretty damn long time. I was about 14 years old when I first started playing Mabinogi, and now I'm 23 years old. That's about like 9 years, going on 10 years, right?
Yeah. It's a long
time.
Yeah,
I've been playing for a pretty long time, and I started playing this game because a game before this one shut down. It was called Tinier Me, and that game was pretty much the one outlet. What, you know of it?
Yeah, I do. Oh my god, I played it a little bit. Yeah,
wow.
It was like a little gacha simulator. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm actually not surprised because you have a very good sense of fashion, and that game is all about fashion.
Thank you. I wasn't really great in that game with it, though, I will say. So
yeah. It was kind of tough to get the fashion you really wanted, but yeah, I've played that game for a while, but then when that shut down, I didn't have really anywhere to go to really express myself.
Yeah.
And socialization-wise, I was not as confident as I am today. And to be honest with you, that wasn't really an option for me, like considering some of my other real-life circumstances, like socializing outside with other friends and people and building like solid connections wasn't really something I was able to do.
Yeah.
So I wanted something to sort of fill that gap, and that's where Mabinogi came in. It was free, my dinky little computer could run it, there was a lot of stuff you could do, I wasn't forced to go into combat, and it just felt like a very unique game where I could fully express myself, fully do what I wanted to do, and meet people and build like long-standing bonds with them.
Yeah, Mabinogi definitely has like a lot of customization to it that a lot of games don't have, and then like abilities to do things that like you have a lot more freedom in this game than other games do, where it's not as on rails as other games, where it's like, just as an example, you know, most other MMOs are like, yeah, so you're choosing to be the ranger class, well that's it, that's your character, and then that's it, like you don't get to do anything else.
Yeah, and you have the corny amnesia. Yep. I don't remember how to do anything, and then you have to like fight 10 snails for about 60 hours of gameplay, and you're like, oh yeah, now defeat the final boss.
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely understand that.
Yeah. While other MMORPGs felt like just World of Warcraft clones,
yes,
Mabinogi felt like something that was original in its own thing, and I think that's why it stood the test of time. But as far as it impacted my own life, there are several aspects that it impacted. But if I could go into depth about just the main thing that I think has impacted me, well, the two main things that's impacted me is, one, it built my confidence with talking with other people, and not just talking with people as in just communicating in general, but communicating in a healthy way. It taught me a lot of people skills. To get people into groups, you need to have people skills. If you want to trade things with other people or get to know other people, there are certain people skills that you have to know to sort of have a good reputation, to have others be willing to help you, things like that. You get to know people from all different kinds of backgrounds.
Yeah.
And you get to accommodate yourself with other people, you know? If someone isn't like that cookie cutter kind of person that you're used to, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a bad person, but you understand how to talk with people
for
that
sure.
are different.
It makes a
and
difference,
I think the
for
second
sure.
way, yeah, definitely. And I think the second way that it impacted me is that with all of the different options that you had with Mabinogi, you could change your skin tone, you could change your gender, you could change your hair color, you could change your age, you could change literally everything after character customization. So if you didn't want to be like one kind of character anymore, you could completely be another character. And then when you had free character cards, you could be a completely different race, like a human, an elf, a giant.
Yeah.
And you got those for free. And I think how that impacted me is that when I was growing up, I was assigned female at birth. And it never came into my mind that would be anything other than that. I never wanted to be like...
Oh, that's interesting to think about.
Like, I've never wanted to be like a mother. I never wanted to be like somebody's girlfriend, somebody's wife. I never wanted to be those terms. And anytime I would attempt to, because, well, if I was born a female, that means I must have to be a female. When I would try to be into this like very girl or woman society, I would be constantly othered. Lack of a better word, I was not very good at being a girl. I tried. It didn't fucking work. And then when I played Mabinogi, that was sort of my escape from being like, okay, mom wants me to be a good little girl, good little Christian girl. And I could finally be who I actually was in Mabinogi. I could dress how I wanted to, speak how I wanted to, like do the kind of things that I wanted to. And I slowly, as I grew older, found more and more people who thought like that. Like people who were men in real life, who would play as women here, not just because they looked cute or they looked hot. No, they actually wished that they were that girl in real life. And as I got older, those same... Exactly, and those same people who would be like female in game would be this thing called like transgender in real life. And I'm like, what is that? And that's how I found out about like this very important life-changing thing. I'm like, I got taught a plethora of things from Mabinogi, not just about like what my gender identity is and not just about sexuality. I learned things about math. I learned things about fucking computer hardware. I made my own PC thanks to the people in Mabinogi.
Yeah.
Not only learned how to communicate with people better, I learned like what the hell mental health is. I learned about like money and taxes and jobs. I learned a lot of fucking shit on Mabinogi. And it is thanks to Mabinogi that I'm here like proudly as a transgender man now. Like the man that I always knew that I was, but now I can finally be that on the inside and the outside.
Absolutely.
So I think we take all of that together, taking in the life skills that I learned, like with jobs, economics, prices, money, things that I learned with math, computer hardware, computer science from random people here and there, what I learned about like my own mental health, my own gender identity and sexuality, how I learned how to communicate with people, even like relationships things that tried and true, like trial and error, sort of learn people by that and what I actually want out of my life. Like, you wouldn't expect that from a game that came out in like 2008 or more specifically 2003. But now here I am now in a sort of position where I can say that this game and the people within it and the very tight-knit community really just sort of raised me, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess just for a small aside for anybody watching who feels inspired by this or anything, I used to be in a pretty sort of not very well mentally good spot in my life, but thanks to the people in Mabinogi and thanks to the insight that gave me, I am much happier in my life now. the relationships I have with my family, like my mom, my dad, my sister, my friends in real life, they're all much stronger. They feel much more realistic now. I have been out of the closet as like a trans man for about 2 years now.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, 2 years. I've been on testosterone now for a whopping 1 year and 4 months. And I'm actually about to get like gender affirming surgery in next year of January.
That's exciting.
And what's ironic, and you want to know what's so ironic of that? January of 2013 is when I joined Mabinogi, and it's January of 2023. That's exactly 10 years that I would have that like very gender affirming surgery of mine.
That's I love how it's coming full circle. That's so wonderful.
It's come completely full circle. That I used to be like this broken person. Well, I think that's a little bit dramatic, but broken in comparison to how whole I am now.
Yeah.
To now I'm an adult. I'm a fully grown man now. Like, I have a very happy life. I'm doing well in college. I have like an associate's degree in computer science now. Like, my life is going great in comparison to how it used to be.
Yeah,
like,
that's
shit,
so
I have a dog now.
You have a dog? Wait, what's the dog's name?
Her name's Snowball. She's a pit bull terrier.
If you have any pictures, if you just so happen to have any pictures, I would love to put it up on the screen for people.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll send it to you in a little bit.
Yeah, after the interview's over, then you can send it to me, and then people can look at the screen right now, and they'll see.
Yeah, my little doggo. Well, she's not little. She's quite big. She's a quite big doggo. But yeah, that is how Mabinogi has pretty much shaped my life.
I really appreciate the answer that you gave me. Even if it was like quite a long answer, like, I'm glad you went into depth about that, and I do hope that other people will be inspired. That's the word. Inspired by you.
Well, I guess that's what interviews are all about, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So, as for some other questions, less deep questions, but what is your favorite talent in Mabby?
That is a hard question.
Oh, usually people like they know off the bat.
Well, that's a very hard question for me. Do you mean in terms of fun, or do you mean in terms of results?
You can do both. It doesn't have to be just one talent. Like, if there's like a couple of talents that you really like, then that's totally fine.
In terms of fun, I would rank Fighter as number one. Fighter is very fun. I think that Mabinogi in itself should really prioritize getting older talents upgraded like they have been, and Fighter should be no exception. Fighter has a bunch of glitches, but at the core of what Fighter stands for, it is by far the most fun. I know that everyone's like, ooh, Shane Slash, ooh, Gunsling. No. Fighter. Fighter is by far the most fun talent. The second only to archery, because it's a little bit biased, but any class that has archery is my automatic favorite.
So wait, when I said earlier, like, if you're in an MMO and you choose, like, let's say Ranger, it's Ranger only, is that, like, ironic?
Very ironic. Because I pick Ranger. But in terms of results, it is fun. It's a little bit slow, but it's fun because of the results that it gives. Yeah. I would say hands down Knight. Like, you saw the lance that I have. It is a giant Step 7 Lang something. Big white dragon lance. Yes. It can freeze people. It has plus 10 piercing, and it can freeze people when you stab people with it. Like, and it does like whopping damage. Like, when I'm on my horse and I can lance charge into somebody from like Rundle Advance, it can do like a big fucking 60k or above damage when it crits.
That's pretty good, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is pretty. I'm not that Giga Pro. Like, I know that sort of sounds contradictory. There are other people who are probably watching that like, I can do like 100k.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
For me, like, used to do like 10k at best with lance charge, to go from a whopping 10k to like 60k and above. Definitely my favorite talent for results.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you like so many talents. instead of just like I kind of made it sound like it was just going to be one, but yeah, you could totally like so many of them.
Right.
So what activities do you have outside of Mabby?
I do have quite a few, but I'll just say them from most active to least active.
Okay.
I'm a proud Hanzo main on Overwatch. I'm a very proud Hanzo main on Overwatch.
I will say, it's been a while since I've actually heard anyone say that they still play Overwatch.
I do. I'm one of those losers who still play Overwatch.
Oh,
but can you really, like, can you really judge me though? Like, if I still play Mabby,
yeah,
I can still play Overwatch. Okay.
But if you enjoy it, then you enjoy it. That's
right.
That's all there is to it.
But yes, I do play quite a bit of Overwatch. I have 331 hours on Hanzo. That's probably more time than people have on like the fucking Witcher or something. What else? I do play quite a bit of Minecraft from time to time. It used to be more, but I sort of have my phases. Like, you know, one month I play it, 1 month I don't.
Yeah.
I do a lot of art.
Yes.
That should probably be a given. In fact, if I had to say where I get most of my gold from in Mabinogi, it is from doing art. Yep.
Yeah.
I draw all sorts of art, by the way. I draw, you know.
Is that the puppy I hear?
That's actually the neighbor's dog.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, neighbor's dog. I see. I hear you.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're saying,
loud.
but I hear you.
But yeah, I do quite a bit of art, you know. I do mainly art of like big buff men. That's what people usually know me as.
Yes.
But I also do, you know, I do girls, I do monsters.
Yeah, I remember when I first met you, that was like the first thing you showed me is like a bunch of examples of your art. It was just a bunch of big guys.
You know, bunch of big guys, bunch of pretty ladies, very pretty content restricted on YouTube ladies. What else? But yes, I do a lot of drawing and I do practice Japanese. I've been studying the language for 5 years.
Wow, that's impressive.
And if you want, I can speak some Japanese.
Yes. If you have anything to say, I mean, I probably won't know what you're saying, but.
まあ、本当に僕の日本語がちょっと下手になれくしちゃったんですけど、毎日練習してもっと上手になりたいと思いますが。
What does that mean?
Sort of long story short, I said like I'm getting a little bit. I've become a bit rusty, but I practice every day, so I'm hoping to get a lot better.
Oh, well, there you go.
But yeah, that's a lot of what I do.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite way of? Oh wait, no, I guess you kind of answered that. I was gonna ask you what your favorite way of earning gold is, but you totally answered that with the art thing, huh?
Drawing big gay men.
Yes, exactly. Which, by the way, if you guys are interested in that kind of art, then there you go. You have someone to contact.
Are you gonna put my Discord in the description below?
Oh, do you have a Discord for it?
Just some, you know, the Discord I always use.
Oh yes, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I will put that in the description below if anyone wants to order some art or like just see some examples and stuff and go from there. Then they can contact you on Discord.
Yeah.
So I'll have that in the description. So do you have a favorite celebrity? Or if you don't have a favorite celebrity, do you have like a favorite movie character? Like even if it's like a cartoon character?
Mabinogi celebrity or just celebrity as a whole?
Celebrity as a whole.
Henry Cavill.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I would say Henry Cavill because unlike the majority of Hollywood, when you see them getting buff, they use a lot of steroids. They're not crazy pumping. Yeah, they're not crazy pumping the gun to look like that. They're pumping it, and they're literally pumping steroids into their veins. But not Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill, he's all natural. He works very hard every day, and he does not use any steroids for any of his movies and TV shows.
Okay.
He's a good person, he's a gamer, and he's very down to earth. And a little bit of bias, I do love The Witcher, and he stars in that. So not just his personality and who he is as a person, but he has done a remarkable job on the Witcher series, one of my favorite video game series. And he's done a very good job at recreating the Netflix series and staying true to both the video games and the books.
There you go. Perfect. So normally I would ask if you'd like to give advice for the last question, but you kind of sort of did that with the whole message about the impact. You kind of said, unless you have other advice that you'd like to give, then
I can give more condensed advice.
Sure.
And
it could be
if I had to give,
it could be about Mabby or in real life. It's totally up to you.
Okay. If I had to give 1 ounce of advice, I think that for everyone as a whole, I think that if people focus more about being human and being empathetic and having the humility to know that when you're wrong, you should apologize and you should listen and come to a more peaceful conclusion, as opposed to just being concerned about being right, even if everything is stacked against you. I think that is my best advice to have maturity, to apologize when you're wrong, to communicate in a way that does not immediately prove someone guilty.
It's almost instead of it being almost like a competition.
Right.
Because that's not what it's about.
I think that if you're calm, you have control over your emotions and can express them in a healthy way. You can communicate your feelings without blaming someone prematurely. And if you are wrong, or if someone accuses you of being wrong, you can pause for a moment and think about what has happened and apologize and have just a little bit of empathy to see where someone is in someone else's shoes. But while also not sacrificing your own dignity, having that balance, being an adult like that. That is the best advice I can give for anyone in Mabinogi or in real life as a whole.
Yes, that is good for both. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, and it's interesting to think that that is such an important lesson to learn in life, that you'd think that they'd teach you that in school, like when you're a lot younger, but they kind of do a bad job at it if they try.
Right.
I don't know. It's something that you end up learning as you grow up.
Right. The best way I can describe it in very short is to learn how to control one's pride.
Yeah.
I think that is what I have learned in my 10 years of Mabinogi. I know that people like to think, I know most people like to think that I'm a nice guy, but I used to be very prideful, very spiteful, no one can tell me that I'm wrong. I can't possibly be wrong. But you start to realize that yes, you can be wrong. And there are people in this world who do bad things to you, but it does not necessarily mean that they are a bad person.
And especially not a bad person forever either.
Yes. So I think that if people have, a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, or have at least the politeness to know that, yes, it is not justified to dox somebody if you call them ugly, or if they called you ugly or something, or say that you're mid. No, you're not supposed to do that. I guess I say it because I see a lot of pointless petty drama in Mabinogi, and I think okay, calm down, kids. Just apologize. Think about their feelings a little bit. Think about yours, and you could become best friends by doing that.
You totally could.
It's astounding. It's astounding to me how many people don't do that. So I guess take it from your dad, Xiokun. I'm telling you guys to act up. Be polite to the other neighbors. Well, I guess that's my advice.
It's good advice. I appreciate that advice. So, thank you for doing this with me.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it took a little bit to get the date all set, but here we have it.
Yep.
And it was a very interesting one, I would say. You talked a lot about inspiring things, and that's what makes it worth it, right?
Right. And I hope I didn't sound like an old man.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, good.
But yeah, so I will see you all another day in Erinn. Goodbye.
Okay, see you later, guys.